This is what happened when a jet almost landed on top of another aircraft, or this airline pilots hard landing, or one pilot who banned the aircraft during landing, and especially this air show turns deadly. Or when size does matter. Alright, let's take a look. In the air, it just takes a little chunk of error to have a major disaster.
Tableau 852, what speed are you at?
We're at 220.
220?
What do you need?
Well, no, 212, I'll tell you what, you go to 180, turn right heading 060, and I'll run the guy behind you that's doing about 100 knots faster on the ground speed.
Alright, you want to play games?
No, I'm not playing a game. You're doing 180 across the ground. The guy that's 5 behind you is doing 310 across the ground. Now you tell me, if I've got a bunch of airplanes in there, what would you do?
This pilot died in this maneuver. Now pay attention, that's the time when the wing system almost ripped off because of his 3 fatal mistakes. First of all, he's performing this maneuver too fast, means he's exceeding his maneuvering speed, literally can cause structural damage to the aircraft. And the second is rapidly increases AOA for performing a high G maneuver. And the third, one of the biggest mistake, he drives pounds of colored water, rapidly loses weight, as a result rapidly decreasing the maximum allowable maneuvering speed, and finally wing snapped off and he got crashed. So here they are committing for the landing. It might be one of the scariest approach. It's not in the US. It's likely in the Bhutan, and it's supposed to be routine 20 flight. And it got all of these warnings multiple times. It's okay to avoid a single warning, but not a multiples. If the warning is still going on, execute a go around immediately. However, they are not stable with this approach at all. Now here the ultimate collapse. How fast it is. Look how hard he hits the runway. The guy who jumps in may be thinking about a wild ride. This is what it looks like to land in a poor visibility or fog. This is how they do it. An ILS Cat 3 approach where the pilot gonna turn on the autopilot and the plane gonna perform an auto land. Essentially, plane gonna land itself. Basically, plane gonna follow lateral and vertical signals, especially come from ground-based navigation systems. An ILS Category 3 approach is a precision approach, means you can fly without any visual references. Overall, it's not that easy as you might think. This FedEx aircraft almost landed on top of Southwest aircraft, and it's only taken one incursion to have a major disaster.
Southwest aboard. FedEx is on the go.
A FedEx plane was cleared to land on runway 18 left. When this was 3-mile final from the runway, the tower cleared Southwest flight for takeoff on the same runway. The weather was so bad at the time of incidents, tower couldn't see the either airplane until they come a little closer from this catastrophic collision. Literally got shocked when I saw this. This is an perfect example on what to do during a landing. The pilot touched down so hard that it actually bent the airframe. It's common to bounce a smaller aircraft, and it happens so frequently multiple times. However, in airlines aircraft, that's not easy to do. After it touches down, it starts to purpose down the runway. The nose gear touches down the first instead of main gear, and the entire weight of the aircraft starting shifting toward the nose wheel. And apparently because of the hard landing, they bent the aircraft. This is a Ryanair. No matter how much people wanted to make fun of them or complain of their hard landing and stuff, especially their terrifying landing like this one, where they almost scraped wing on the ground. The airlines has never had a fatal accident in its 37 years flying history, so I think you're pretty safe flying with a Ryanair. A terrifying near collision between 2 aircraft on the runway at JFK, New York.
Delta 1943, wind 35018, gust 24, runway 4 left, clear for takeoff.
Alright, clear for takeoff, runway 4 left, Delta 1943.
Delta 1943, cancel takeoff clearance.
Rejecting. Alright, and Delta 1943.
This air shot turns deadly. Watch what happens. He's doing a barrel roll, digging the nose down, trying to pick some airspeed, going back in the direction of the runway, and he's gonna do a left turn for aligning himself for the runway, fly parallel to the crowd. But if he's just gonna straight ahead, instead of making this high bank turn, he would probably still be alive today. This shows how powerful 747 engine is. Taking off from runway 17 in Minneapolis, look at that number 4 engine on the right hand side as it kicking off some late south side of the runway. It's really tearing things up. Don't worry, pilot didn't do anything wrong. This gigantic queen of sky actually saying how powerful she is. You have never seen anything like this. This is a world's worst aviation disaster which is narrowly avoided when this A320 started to land on a taxiway, which had a 4 airliner aircraft on it. In 2017, Air Canada A320 was in town to land on a San Francisco on runway 28 right, but the worst part of the story is that instead of lining with the runway 28 right, pilots lined up with a parallel taxiway, which had a 4 airliner on it with a full of passengers on board ready for takeoff, likely with 1,000 people on board. The parallel runway 28 left was closed at the night because of the maintenance. Except from that, this tragedy contributed to many factors, and you can hear clearly ADC directing Air Canada for go round.
Where's this guy going? He's on the taxiway.
Air Canada, go around.
In the go around, I count 759.
Get a 759. Looks like you were lined up for Charlie there. Flight heading 280, climb maintain 3000.